Hello to all my Tingle fans, and welcome back to Only Tingles ASMR. Today's going to be a nice little soft-spoken video, and we're going to pick back up on the Cluedle series. It's been a while since we've done Cluedle on the channel, so I'll kind of talk through the puzzles and whisper or soft speak while I'm doing them, and then we'll do some gum chewing as well. Apologies, I think, today I'm trying to record, and there's people walking by, there's like a dog, so I'm hopeful I can get this video in with minimal background noise. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna jump right into it. Let me get another piece of gum going here. I'm actually gonna keep this out of the way so that we can jump in. The other thing I'll say as we start, I truly appreciate everyone for the continued support. It means a lot, all your guys' comments have been great, so we're building a fun little community here. I appreciate you all for being here and just hanging out, and I hope these videos definitely help you relax. Okay, case 4, Fur Blast. It is clear Captain Phillips is somehow involved in the case. What else could explain his presence at the monument? Was he the one blackmailing Mavis for the painting? Did he discover its secrets for himself? He was on Ivana's list of people who visited the art gallery. What did he find at the monument? It must be something of value. Whatever is happening, it's clear that you need to interrogate the captain. Hopefully you'll find some answers at Templeton Manor. When you arrive at the captain's home, his wife, Sally Phillips, flings open the door before you can even ring the bell. She's wearing a dressing gown. Her hair is full of rollers, and she's wielding a large baseball bat in a somewhat threatening manner. She's rather startling, but you hold your nerve and just about resist the urge to scream. You don't have to be a detective to tell by the look on her face that something is wrong. There's been a robbery. I thought they might have returned, she says, lowering the baseball bat. They broke in through the back door. I was upstairs getting ready, so I don't know exactly when it happened. You ask if you can take a look, and she leads you to the back door. Sure enough, there are signs of a forced entry. What on earth is going on? You thought the captain might be involved in criminal activity, but it seems that he might also be a victim. Sally tells you that nothing was taken from the house, but the spare keys from the hooks by the back door have been tampered with. She thinks that one of them might be missing. You step outside to look for any further clues and see there are several sets of footprints by the back door. One set could belong to whomever broke in. You count 5 separate pairs of footprints and label them A through E. Sally tells you that no one else has been out the back door other than herself and her husband. If you compare the footprints to her shoes and the captain's shoes, you may see evidence that could incriminate the person who broke in. Okay, let's see what we got here. These tasks are usually pretty easy, but not always. These are Sally and Captain Phillips' shoes and the footprints they make. Okay, we got Sally's, Captain Phillips. Sorry if you can hear Penny in the background there. She's making all the little random noises. These are the footprints that were left in the mud. You need to work out which of the 5 sets of footprints belong to Sally and Captain Phillips, and which could belong to the suspect. Circle the suspect's footprints. Okay. These appear to be Captain Phillips. These appear to be Captain Phillips as well. I think these are Sally Phillips. These are also Sally Phillips. I believe it's the E. These ones that belong to the... You now ask Sally about the missing key. She reasserts that one has been taken. Luckily, she has her set to use as a comparison. If there is a key missing from the ones hanging at the back door, you will know for certain, and Sally will be able to tell you what that key unlocks. Let's see what we got. Can you figure out which key is missing? Circle the key in Sally's set that is missing from the keys that were left on the hooks on the back door. Okay. So I got this, and I see this circular bad boy, this one, just kind of a little squared circle. Oh, no, it's right here. This like little three circular like pretzel vibe. It's longer. Yeah. This one is clear. This long little one. Also there. This one that looks kind of like a basketball rim. Yeah, these two. Okay. Another small three circle one. This one's interesting. This one's right here and here. Oh, I think it's this key. Yeah, I don't see this key. Yeah, because this one's here. This one's here. Okay. So it's this key that's missing. Well done. You identified which key is missing. And Sally tells you it is the key to the back door of Captain Phillips' office building. Apparently, he told her he was heading there earlier today. Perhaps he went there after he went to the monument. Whoever stole the captain's key may be at his office, too. Could the captain be in danger? Super sleuth, you know where you need to go. Sally lets you hold on to the key as evidence. When you arrive at Captain Phillips' office, it is all locked up. You can hear muffled noises from inside. You use the key to unlock the door, then cautiously open it and find the captain tied to a chair with a bucket over his head. It does not take a genius to realize that he did not do this to himself. You remove the bucket and discover that someone has stuffed a sock in his mouth. You wonder if it could be evidence. Perhaps the sock belongs to whomever has tied up the captain, but then you see that this captain has one barefoot and realizes the sock must be his. You remove the sock, but don't untie him just yet. It might be useful to keep him where he is while you question him. He tells you he's been attacked, but when you ask him who did it, he says he doesn't know. Whoever was attacked from behind, and Captain Phillips was unconscious when they tied him up. This blows your case wide open. When you ask if he has anything to do with, if this has anything to do with what he found in the monument, he looks shocked. How could you possibly know about that? The Dumpleton Diamond is a secret. Very few people know it even exists. The Dumpleton Diamond. So the map on the back of the Flying Go painting was a treasure map after all. A treasure map to the Dumpleton Diamond. That must have been what was inside the monument. You try not to show your excitement at this bombshell and press him to tell you a little bit more about the Dumpleton Diamond. It is a family heirloom. An heirloom that my great-grandfather Ernest was cheated out of during a game of Ferret Maze Runner, and I finally have the evidence to prove it. Evidence that proves I am the rightful owner. Interesting. Too much reading, not enough puzzles. It takes you a moment to process this information. You're not quite certain what to ask about first, but settle on the Ferret Maze Runner part of his statement. My great-grandfather Ernest had the fastest ferret in all of Little Dumpleton. Furblast had never been beaten. Ferret racing was a popular pastime back in his day. They'd put two ferrets into a maze to see which one would make it out of the exit first. Furblast had the best nose and the fastest paws for miles around. Though it's hard to see where this is going, you let Captain Phillips continue. One day, the owner of a ferret named Bandit challenged my great-grandfather to a ferret maze run. The man did not give his name, but the bet was huge. If Furblast won, Ernest would get half the land in Dumpleton and a fine house in the village of Puckleberry. If he didn't, he would have to hand over the Dumpleton Diamond. He took the bet, safe in the knowledge that Furblast was a sure winner. Captain Phillips nods over towards his desk. In the top drawer, you will find the evidence that proves that Bandit's owner was a cheat. You open the drawer and discover a newspaper article from the Dumpleton Daily, detailing the ferret maze that was found. The photo in the article shows that there were two entrances into the maze, but the one Furblast entered had no possible route through to the finish. Find both Bandit's and Furblast's path to the finish. You need to work out whether the captain is telling the truth. Okay. guess I'll go this way first, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to circle this to remember to come back if we can't get out. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to circle this too. And go right. I'm doing the circles just as a reminder of where I need them to come back and go a different direction. Left doesn't go anywhere. Left doesn't go anywhere. Left doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I have to remember this one too. No, I don't, because right doesn't go anywhere. Finally got a dead end here, so this route didn't go anywhere. So let me try going this way instead. Okay, that's also a dead end. I guess we're gonna try going this way. Oh, yeah, looks like he was telling the truth. There were no other routes to go here. Sorry, I had to pause the video there momentarily. I've got some super loud neighbors right now. I think they're moving and they're like just wheeling stuff out of their apartment. I don't know. Sorry. Okay, so we determined that it was not possible for Fur Blast to release. If this ferret map maze is indeed correct, it would appear that Captain Phillips may have a claim to the Doubleton Diamond. You take the maze as evidence. My great-great-grandfather Ernest knew he'd been cheated. Captain Phillips continues, so when he handed the diamond over to the unnamed stranger, he placed it in a locked chest so it could never be opened. Then we heard nothing of it until my father, Harold Phillips, quite by accident, found a map folded inside a book he'd bought in a second-hand bookshop. He'd just joined the local lawn bowling league and bought some sort of playing guide. He couldn't believe it when the map fell from between his pages. He guessed from the poem that it may be linked to the Dumpleton Diamond, and he tried without success for years to figure out the instructions. When you put the suggestion to Captain Phillips that he was blackmailing Mavis Bowl to get the painting, he laughs. He only recently discovered his father had commissioned the painting as a way to hide the map. Captain Phillips knew his father had once found the map, but he believed it to be lost. He had thought that when on his deathbed his father had said, "Keep the goat," he had been referring to his great-aunt Mildred, who lived with him at the time. After his father's passing, the captain had given the flying goat painting to the art gallery for free because he believed it to be a visual monstrosity. But he tells you that he had recently found his father's diaries, and the importance of the flying goat had become clear. I went to look at the painting where it hangs at the drawing dump. I turned it over when Ivana wasn't watching and took a photo. He asks you to untie him so he can take something from his back pocket. You do, and he takes out a small leather brown book and hands it to you. It is his father's diary. Everything I've told you will be in there. The diary has a lock on it. Captain Phillips tells you the key is in the same drawer where you found the ferret maze. There are 5 keys in the drawer, but he can't remember which one opens the lock. You'll have to figure it out. Okay. Which one will open the lock? I'm guessing just match this area. Definitely this one. Number 4. You're in. And sure enough, the diary confirms what Captain Phillips said. There is mention of how his father found the map and how he had hidden it behind the painting. There is something else, too. In Harold Phillips' diary that piques your detective senses, some drawings of the phases of the moon, but they aren't in order and some of them don't look correct at all. You copy them down in case they are important later. There's also a note written below the diagram. You copy down the contents of the note, too, even though it doesn't make much sense. Everything starts with a new moon. Crescents wax, then quarter. Then crescents wane and quarter, always in that order. Some kind of riddle, maybe? The Dumpleton diamond is no longer in Captain Phillips' office, so whoever knocked him unconscious must have taken it. Captain Phillips informs you that he has security cameras installed outside. If you can access the camera footage, you may be able to catch your villain red-handed. The only problem is that there is an access code to log into the camera, and the knock on the head has caused Captain Phillips to forget what it is. He does have a backup method for finding out the code, and something tells me you're just the detective to figure it out. It's another maze, though there are no ferrets involved this time. Okay. Find your way to the end of the maze. The numbers that are on the correct route, in that order you pass through them, or the access code to the surveillance cameras. It could be tricky, so try it in pencil first. Okay. Well, I'll start by going this way first. See what happens. 7. 4. Oh, did I get this on the first try? I think I did. Nice. So what's that? 7942? 7, 4, 2. I guess we should check the back on it, just in case. 7942. That's it. Congratulations, you have successfully gained access to the camera footage. There were 3 people outside Captain Phillips' office during the time period when the captain could have been attacked. They were Hector Brown, Tyrone Griggs, and Father Barnaby. They are now your leads for Case 5, partially there. Okay, Case 5, partially there. It would seem Father Barnaby, Hector Brown, and Tyrone Griggs are all under consideration for blackmailing Mavis and attacking Captain Phillips. Whoever is responsible must know about the flying goat. Check your evidence log from Case 3 on page 70 to see whether any of these 3 suspects could have seen the map on the back of the flying goat. Did I write anything down on page 70? I don't know. I have no idea if I can let anyone. Like, I have no idea how I would even know that. Maybe if I was doing this, like, in, like, day after day and I was fresh on my mind, but let me see. Oh, I see. It's just I was done. It's just basically asking if any of those Father Barnaby, Brown, and Griggs can be ruled out, but they were all also listed here. Yeah, Hector Brown, yeah. Okay, got it. No. It's like the second or third time I've had to pause this video, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, time to question your suspects and find out whether they have an alibi. You send Captain Phillips to the doctor's office to get checked out and then head into the village. Mavis Bold comes rushing up to you in a fluster. She says Sally Phillips told her about the robbery and wants to know whether you are any closer to catching the blackmailer. You tell her you are closing in. She hands you something. I wonder if this might be of any use. It's the envelope the coded message came in. You take it because you know it could be useful. The blackmailer has written Mavis's name on the front. Maybe they've tried to alter their handwriting, but there may be a telltale sign that could help your investigation. Evidence log 1, writing an envelope, Mavis Bold, handwriting samples. Okay, so we've got some handwriting samples here. Which letter has been used in all 3 handwriting samples and on the envelope? Dude, how am I supposed to find all the old handwriting samples? Oh, I see. You're just doing the envelope and then the samples. Okay. I mean, I know this S matches, but I'm trying to see if there's any other I. The S, B, the S and the D here. It says 2 letters match. I'm not seeing it. The S is definitely the same. The L and the D are the same here too. So it's definitely Hector Brown. Who's the other one? I don't think this matches. I mean, does this match something? The L maybe? I don't understand. Oh, the A? It's so weird. I'm guessing it's Griggs that we can rule out, but I have no idea. It's a weird one, I think. Unless I'm just not understanding. They're saying it's the same type of S here. I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess Tyrone Griggs is definitely the most unique of the handwriting. Your net is really closing in now. You're down to your last 2 suspects. It's time to question them. You head to Hector Brown's farm and find him in the cowshed. To start, you think he is with someone, but then you realize he is actually deep in conversation with the cow he's calling Michelle. That's a little weird. You interrupt politely, but no knock on anyone that talks to their cows and names them Michelle. You interrupt politely and ask him whether he had been near Captain Phillips' office. Oh, I'm sorry. I think my pup is vigorously cleaning herself right now, and if you can hear that, I apologize. He tells you he had been near there, but that he was only passing by. He seems genuinely shocked when you tell him about the attack. You show him the envelope and ask him if he sent Mavis Bold a blackmail letter. Blackmail Mavis? No. Look, I'll admit I wrote her name on that envelope, but I had nothing to do with what's inside or clobbering Phillips over the head. How did Mavis's letter get into Hector Brown's possession? There was a slight accident with the mail carrier and my tractor, he explains. There were letters all over the sidewalk. The envelope addressed to Mavis was completely unreadable. I opened it up, saw her name, and I said that as I was on my way into the village, I'd drop it off. I wrote her a new envelope, couldn't make heads or tails of what the letter was about, though. This means that the handwriting on the envelope wasn't necessarily the blackmailers. which means that Father Barnaby is still in the picture, and Tyrone is a suspect again, too. And even though Hector says he has nothing to do with the attack on Captain Phillips, you only have his word for it. You need proof to remove him from your list of suspects. You ask if you can see the bottom of Hector's boot to check the tread. Hector's footprint. Hector 91. Doesn't appear to match, no. His footprint is a match for one of the other footprints at the scene. Oh yeah, his footprint does match, what was it, Sally Phillips or something? Oh, it matches Captain Phillips, which is weird. Matches Captain Phillips. Maybe they're in on it together, I don't know. This means Hector may have been there, but the prince could also be Captain Phillips. Hector Brown has to stay on the list of suspects. Do not get too disheartened that you haven't been able to rule anybody out. Investigations include many red herrings and setbacks. It's part of the job. But those who persevere are those who triumph. I mean, it's not always true, but people who persevere have a much better chance of success than those who don't. Sorry, dude, the pup is just making a lot of noise today. I might need to take her down in a minute, too. So with that in mind, it's time to head back to the scene of the crime to see if there's any evidence you missed. At Captain Phillips' office, okay. This is certainly a lot of extra background noise from the pup today, so I apologize for that. He's snorting all over the place. I hope that's some okay background ASMR. Today is not my day with filming with the people walking out front in Penny, so I apologize. I'm probably going to cut the video here in a moment, but at Captain Phillips' office, you spend some time searching and discover a major breakthrough. You find a business card on the floor near to where Captain Phillips was attacked. Yeah, I'm just going to call the video here because the pup has to go to the bathroom now, too. She's at the door, so... well, hopefully, I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a hectic video, but I wanted to film for you guys today. Yeah, as always, I hope this video gave you guys some tingles, and we'll see you on the next one.